Before we begin this evening's commencement exercise, may I remind everyone to please silence all personal communication devices in respect of those individuals seated around you and in honor of our seniors. I also want to publicly thank the maintenance and support staff for their dedication in the preparations for this evening's commencement.
gonna grab it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Barenwald, principal of Cedar Springs High School and New Beginnings High School. Members of the Board of Education, fellow school administrators, Cedar Springs Public Schools faculty and staff, parents, family members, and distinguished guests. It is with great sincere pride and overflowing jubilation that we are gathered here this evening with the class of 2021 for this, the 141st commencement for Cedar Springs Public Schools. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Let us also remember the heroic men and women who have fallen establishing or defending our great country, and think of those who have or are currently serving in all branches of the United States military.
The audience, please remain standing while the seniors
Take their places on the bleachers. Seniors, please remain standing as well. It's easier for your classmates to get through behind you. Seniors may be seated. Audience, you may be seated as well as the stage. We have assembled several individuals on stage this evening, and I would like to take this opportunity to introduce all of them to you. Please hold your applause until the end of all the introductions. Will these individuals please stand and be recognized? Beginning with our Board of Education, President Heidi Reed, Vice President Matt Schaffner, Secretary Tracy Slager, Treasurer Trent Gilmore, Trustee Misty Bowser, Trustee Jeff Rivard, and Trustee Shannon Vanderhyde. From the administration, Superintendent Mr. Scott Smith, Readers of Names Mr. Edward Johns, Commencement Speaker Mr. Chris Painter, Salutatorian Cecilia Smith, and Valedictorian Madison Scalance. It is my honor and privilege to present them to you this evening. You may be seated. At this time, I call upon Superintendent Scott Smith for the official welcome to tonight's commencement. Mr. Smith.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Education and the entire Cedar Springs Schools family, it is my honor to welcome parents, family members, distinguished guests, friends, staff members, and our incredible class of 2021 to tonight's commencement celebration. Tonight we are fortunate to gather as a community to celebrate this epic group of soon-to-be Red Hawk alumni. Tonight we celebrate all they have accomplished, both academically and in their extracurricular pursuits over the course of their educational journey. Tonight we celebrate with them for the people they have become. Tonight we share their excitement for the adventures that they will encounter in the future. In addition to applauding individual accomplishments of these outstanding students, it's fitting to recognize the fact that none of these talented graduates would have likely reached this point in life without a team of individuals who have worked tirelessly at their side in support of their effort. Graduating class of 2021, please turn and give your loving supporters a hearty round of applause. Recently, I heard a prominent leader in West Michigan say that without vision and endurance, lasting change is impossible. Without vision and endurance, lasting change is impossible. Friends, I'm officially putting it on record by saying that your generation has the potential of becoming one of the most significant group of change agents our great country, perhaps our world, has ever known. Over the last 15 months, you have faced an endless array of barriers to your expectations resulting from circumstances beyond your control. When presented with challenges, you continued to rise to the occasion. When presented what felt like an endless supply of lemons, you made some incredible lemonade during your senior year. While you may have not controlled the nature of the barriers that you encountered this year, you controlled your attitude with maturity, dignity, and grace. What we witnessed time and time again was your unwavering endurance to carry on. That positive attitude will serve you well throughout the remainder of your lives. To be an agent of change, you must have a vision and endurance. You've proven that you have the endurance to bring about change. The question now becomes, where will your vision take us in the future? Graduates, your accomplishments as of June 3rd, 2021 are just the beginning. Please stay connected with Cedar Springs Public Schools and our family. Please let us know how we can best serve you and hopefully your family as it grows in the future. And lastly, thank you for the honor to be able to serve as your superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. In following our long-standing tradition at Cedar Springs Public Schools, we will begin the formal program with our student speakers. The class of 2021 Salutatorian is Miss Cecilia Smith. Cecilia is the daughter of Christopher and Elizabeth Smith of Cedar Springs. Cecilia's post-secondary plan is to attend the University of Detroit Mercy at Aquinas College to pursue a bachelor's degree in nursing. After receiving her degree, she has aspirations of returning to the greater Grand Rapids area to pursue a career in pediatric nursing at Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. Cecilia has represented Cedar Springs High School this past school year as student council executive president and previously as class president her junior year. As a 6-year band member, Cecilia was principal flutist in the wind ensemble, section leader in the marching band for 3 years, recommended and attended the regional honors band, and received multiple Division I ratings in district and state solo ensemble. Academically, Cecilia has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement in all of her core and elective classes, which include 10 advanced placement courses. Her outstanding character, academic excellence, and her abilities in leadership have earned her the following scholarships, awards, and honors. Highest academic honors with a cumulative GPA of 4.3475. AP Scholar with honors. The Spectrum Health Scholarship. The Cedar Springs Women's Club Scholarship, Daughters of the American Revolution recipient, member of the Athena chapter of the National Honor Society, the Michigan Seal of Biliteracy, and the Student Council Leadership Award. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with sincere pride that I introduce to you Mrs. Cecilia Smith with her salutatorian address.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming to support the class of 2021 as we take the next step in our journey of life. To start out, I would like to thank my mom and dad, my sisters Julia and Angela, and my favorite and only brother David. You have supported, motivated, listened, and put up with me overtaking the kitchen table to do all of my homework throughout my schooling, especially in high school, for which I am truly grateful. So thank you. I would also like to thank all of the parents, family members, and friends here tonight to honor and support the class of 2021. It means so much to all of us. Finally, I would like to thank all of the teachers and administrators. You all are amazing, and without each of you, graduation would not have been possible. We have learned so much from all of you, not only about school subjects, but also about life, for which we are immensely appreciative. And to my classmates, thank you for making the last 13 years memorable with friendships, teamwork, support, and overcoming obstacles that we have all faced together, all of which make me proud to be a member of the class of 2021. Now, this is probably where I'm supposed to fill everybody in on my endless wisdom and give life advice. Well, I've only been on this earth for 17 short years, so unfortunately, I'm not really a book of knowledge and wisdom. However, I am blessed to have family and friends who are willing to share their wisdom and advice about life. so I have a few things to talk about tonight. The first thing I have learned is that life is short. Many of us have experienced some type of loss during our life, which has impacted how we live or view things. So, in order to make the most out of life, surround yourself with family and friends that support you and push you to do your best. Enjoy every second of life. Set time aside to help others out and make lots of good memories. Just like high school flew by, so will life. So don't spend time complaining about what is going wrong, because as we all know, life is not always perfect. Rather, make the most out of everything that comes your way, and don't sweat the small stuff, like, will the internet support Zoom for all of my 6 classes today? I have also learned to trust that things will work out as they are supposed to. During the summer before junior year, I received a call from my counselor saying that my schedule would not work out, which I'm sure all of us have experienced at some point or another. Mrs. Perro said that A-Push would not fit in my schedule, and after looking at options for potential classes, anatomy and physiology was one of the few options left. And let me tell you, I did not want to take that class, even though my mom kept telling me, Cecilia, you're going to need it for nursing. In the end, however, anatomy ended up being one of my favorite classes in all of high school. And I got to have Mr. Vree for 2 hours of the day, which was great because he is so knowledgeable in all of his subjects that he teaches. Just like me having to take anatomy and physiology, there will be some things that happen in life that you don't understand. But you need to believe there is a purpose behind it, and in the end, everything will work out as it is supposed to. It is also important to work hard for what you want in life. During my time in high school, I set a goal to challenge myself with AP classes and try to get A's in them, although that did not work out. But I am glad that I took the classes because I learned to work hard, ask questions even though I didn't want to, and that perseverance can go a long way. I studied hard to master macroeconomics, going through Quizlet flashcards for hours on end before the AP exam, which was 4 months after most of us had completed the class. I also took advantage, most of the time, of Painter's Open Help to try and learn calculus and ask questions. We are all capable of becoming who we want to be and going where we want in life. It may be a difficult path and take some blood, sweat, and tears, but if we really work for it, I believe it is possible to become whoever we want and accomplish our dreams. This is how hard work got me where I wanted. And if you work hard too, you will all get where you want to be. And before I conclude my speech, I would like to share some words of wisdom my 93-year-old grandpa tells all of us grandkids. Save some of your money, because the world runs on money. My grandpa grew up during the Depression, where he learned how far a dollar can go and how quickly it can be lost. Through his experiences, he learned the importance of saving. Saving as a safety net in case you lose your job. Saving as a common sense thing to do. And saving as a way to ensure future needs and wants are met. Because, as he reminds us, if we're lucky, in no time we will be his age, because life is short. Congratulations, class of 2021. We all deserve to proudly walk across this stage, receive our diploma, and look forward to all the amazing things we will accomplish in life. Thank you.
Cecilia, thank you for those encouraging words to your classmates, and especially for your priceless leadership this last year as we navigated our way as a student body through COVID-19. And we wish you the very best as you enter into your further education at the University of Detroit Mercy. Next, I call upon our valedictorian, Miss Madison Scalance. Madison is the daughter of Brent and Jenny Scalance of Sand Lake. Madison has made the courageous decision to take a gap year from college attendance this fall and plans to continue her employment at Cedar Springs Feed Mill while also pursuing an apprenticeship in the field of body art, learning the techniques and skills of piercings and tattoo artistry. During her time at Cedar Springs High School, Madison has demonstrated and developed her leadership abilities through her involvement with Student Council, the FFA, and our band program. As a junior, Madison served as Student Council Executive Secretary, and this past year as Executive Vice President. As a 7-year member of the band, Madison was marching band section leader for 2 of those years and marched all 4 years of high school. She was recommended and attended the Regional Honors Band and played clarinet in the Wind Ensemble. As an FFA member, Madison was elected to hold the chapter officer position of reporter this year, where she wrote several articles for the Cedar Springs Post about the FFA and their activities. She also participated in career development events where she led the milk quality and products team preparation in 2020 until COVID-19 caused the cancellation of that state contest. But she plans to have the team ready for this year's competition and to take them to nationals this fall. And yes, Mr. Duffy, there is a cheese identification factor in that component. She chaired the planning and execution of the elementary school farm day activities and has an extensive supervised agricultural experience project with her family dairy operation. In 7th grade, Madison was selected for and attended the Academically Talented Youth Program for gifted and talented students and finished that program in her freshman year. Madison has attained the highest level of academic achievement in all of her core and elective courses, which have included 14 advanced placement courses. Her academic excellence, character, and leadership abilities have earned her the following awards and honors. Highest academic honors with a cumulative GPA of 4.3696. Academic Scholar with Distinction, which means she has received a 3 on 5 or more AP exams. And the Community Service Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Madison Salance with her valedictorian address.
Well, here we are at last. I suppose I should start with my boring but important thanks and recognitions before I get into the meat of this speech. First, I'd like to recognize Mr. Barenwald. I put him through a lot this year, and I do apologize. He truly has been an advocate for this class all year long, even if it didn't always feel that way to y'all. I've had the pleasure of working with him behind the scenes in student council, and if any of you have any younger siblings, please encourage them to consider joining. Anyway, working with him in student council has shown me that he only wishes for the best for this class. He has tried to give us the best 4 years that he knows how to give. I'd also briefly like to thank our wonderful counselors, whom I've bugged countless times over the years with my difficult schedules. I've seen the master schedule thing, and it's a beast, but they handle it with grace and patience. I thank them for their kindness and help. Similarly, the office staff should be thanked. I can only imagine the number of issues they deal with on a daily basis, many of which I've brought myself. Yet they do so with cheer and friendliness. I will miss you. And now, the teachers. I apologize, but if I don't want people to fall asleep, I don't think I can recognize individuals. Just know that I greatly appreciate everything you've done for me. And I know that my peers do as well. I invite the class of 2021 to give their teachers a round of applause for all they have done and sacrificed for us in the last 13+ years. And one last thanks to every other member of staff and faculty who has helped us along our way. So, the part some of you have been waiting for. I hope you aren't expecting me to burst out in song or say something so controversial that the mic gets shut off, because that won't happen. Standing here, I don't feel qualified to give a speech, especially when you start to research valedictorian speeches. There's a common theme. Valedictorians are supposed to be seen as people that are wiser than their peers. I'm supposed to stand here and give you advice, inspiration, prepare you to be excited about your future. But the truth of the matter is, I don't have my life more put together than any one of you. I don't have any wisdom yet, and my advice probably isn't the greatest. When I was a freshman, I remember talking to Mr. Stewart about a valedictorian speech, and the promise I made to him and to myself was that if I got the chance to stand here and talk to you, I wouldn't preach. I wouldn't try to be better than you. I wouldn't give you advice on how to be a better person or have a successful life. You are my peers, and it's not my place. So instead, I want to reflect on this year and maybe share my thoughts. We all know this year has been difficult, less than ideal, to say the least. Many will agree with the sentiment that our senior year was robbed from us. But I would like to applaud you for making the best of what you were given. The thing that amazes me about this class, the class of 2021, is the strength. We have lost so much, but it seems that we always find our way back to each other. I think one of the biggest examples of this class finding its way back is Alex Collins. A friend to many, a joy to all, he is missed dearly. I felt it important to remember him here today. Nothing I say is quite good enough, but I shall try my hardest. I've watched this class fight so hard for Alex to be remembered, to be honored in every way possible, and it gives me hope for our future. We rose together to fight for something we all believe in. I've been witness to 2 valedictorian speeches and watched the third online. A piece of each speech always stuck with me. Freshman year, I remember the valedictorian had freshly minted pennies for the class. Sophomore year, the valedictorian spoke about Mozart and bass fishing, I believe. And junior year, Jaden's meaningless Rubik's Cube made itself a home in my memories. If anything from my speech today sticks in anyone's head for 4 years, aspiring valedictorian or not, I hope it's the memory of Alex Collins. I would like to take a moment of silence and ask everyone to remember Alex. Smile about a good memory. If you want to pray, pray. And if you didn't know Alex, reflect on how he has brought this class together to stand up for what we believe in. I thank you. Once a Red Hawk, always a Red Hawk. I have no doubt that this class will not let him be forgotten. Although I hate to be a Debbie Downer, I'm also not one for false cheerfulness. I know these 4 years have been hard, whether it be short days on account of the heat, power outages, threats, mosquitoes, or pandemics. It seems we're constantly battling something new. So I think that a reminder might be useful. It's something I often must remind myself of. Breathe. Live in the moment. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be exhausted. It's okay to be stressed. Look around you at all the wonderful people here, your friends and your family. They're here for you. Don't forget that. I think this class is close. We're a family, and we need that support. So please, every chance you get, tell the people in your life that they're important to you. Tell them you love them. Don't forget that you aren't alone. I'm proud to be a part of the class of 2021 because I truly do believe that the people here are amazing people capable of so much good. All I want is for us to recognize that good and learn how to foster it. Don't be too afraid of change. Take time to learn who you are. Live for yourself. Do what makes you happy. And if you don't know what that is yet, that's okay. You have your whole life ahead of you. And I think sometimes we all need that reminder. When I drafted this speech in the notes app of my phone, all I had was a lot of emotion and a list of disorganized thoughts. This still feels discombobulated, but hey, would it be me if it was anything else? I'm not sure this speech has one clear purpose. I just had some things I wanted to tell you. But in a last-ditch effort to give this some meaning, I suggest to the class of 2021 that we do our best to be true to ourselves. I think we've done an exceptional job of this in our time here, standing up for what we believe in, whether that be through petitions, emails to school leaders, or protests. Being true to ourselves has served us well in the past, and I do believe it will continue to serve us well into our futures. As we part ways after graduation, I hope everyone here is excited about the potential their futures hold. Try to remember to keep loved ones close, and don't forget who you are. Thank you for your time, and as always, it's a great day to be a Red Hawk.
Madison, tonight you stood before us having displayed the best academic achievement of all of your graduating classmates. We look forward to hearing of your great accomplishments in the future. And if I ever get the courage to have a piercing or a tattoo, I'm looking you up. Notice I said the courage. Now turning to our commencement speaker. The class of 2021 has asked Mr. Christopher Painter to be their commencement speaker. Raised in Rockford, Michigan, and a graduate of Rockford High School, Mr. Painter had his post-secondary sights set on attending Grand Valley State University, where he majored in mathematics and physics education, along with receiving his teaching degree. After earning his undergraduate degree, Mr. Painter continued his education by earning a master's degree in curriculum and instruction with a mathematics emphasis from Grand Valley State University in 2010. He also is one of just a few faculty members at Cedar Springs Public Schools who has earned the coveted National Board certification. Mr. Painter started his teaching career at Clement Community Academy in Chicago, Illinois, teaching mathematics and coaching soccer. In 2004, he left Chicago and moved back to West Michigan for a position with our neighbors to the northwest, Fremont Public Schools, for a teaching position in mathematics and again, coaching soccer. Finally, in 2005, Mr. Painter accepted a position with Cedar Springs Public Schools, where he has served as high school mathematics and physics teacher, junior varsity and varsity boys soccer coach, junior varsity girls soccer coach, and sophomore class advisor for several years. Any student who has ever been enrolled in one of Mr. Painter's classes has experienced his or her mathematic knowledge base and thinking being challenged. Having the correct number and units for the problem is not enough. He teases out the why from every student. If no one answers, the next thing which happens is stand up. You're on your feet. You're dialoguing with an elbow partner or a table group until at least you have some reason for your thinking, and then you may sit down. And again, he asks the question, why? High expectations coupled with high levels of support. This distinguished level of teaching is why Mr. Painter's exam average for advanced placement calculus AB is over a 4, which means that the vast majority of his students passing through his class get at least a 3, but more likely a 4 or a 5 on the AP exam. This intensity, inquiry, and passion for understanding extends beyond the classroom. As I witnessed in attendance with him for a couple of years and other math teachers at the MISHME conference, staff development for mathematics teachers, and he really challenges the thinking, the pedagogy, and yet absorbs it all and questions it all himself to make sure he's got the best understanding. For the past 14 years, Mr. Painter has been mentioned by the highest honor students as one of their most influential teachers, and most often, it's not for him helping them with their math thinking, but often helping them frame their thinking about life beyond high school. He has a fun side to him too, and he's often seen at the homecoming dances and at proms, taking pictures, candid pictures of the students dancing and having a good time and posting them all over on his bulletin board in his classroom. Finally, Mr. Painter has been married to the love of his life, Diana, a physical therapist with Northern Physical Therapy for 17 years. They have 2 amazing sons, Camden, who's 10, and Emmett, who's 7. In his free time, Mr. Painter enjoys playing soccer, coaching, and hiking. He loves exploring the outdoors and hikes that lead to waterfalls or amazing views of nature. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to call upon an esteemed member of the faculty of Cedar Springs High School, Mr. Christopher Painter, for his commencement speech.
to thank Mr. Barenwald for that introduction. Someone can now start the timers. I'm sure there have been bets placed on how long I'll last before passing out. If you haven't placed your bet, find H. He probably can help you out with that. In all seriousness, though, I want to thank this year's graduating class for giving me this honor. It's terrifying, but it's an honor. Each year, I ask many of my seniors what advice they would give an incoming freshman. About 10 years ago, I had a student say, "Tell them to do their homework, because we don't need more people like me in this world." I've been sharing that story ever since, which is often then humorously reiterated by at least a few students, some of which are in the audience right now. Don't worry, this is not going to be a speech on doing your homework. Instead, I want to acknowledge that I both really love and disagree with the student's statement. You see, the student was acknowledging a mistake they felt they had made and was asking others to learn from it, which I love. On the other hand, I disagree with the part about not needing more people like me in this world. After all, reflecting on mistakes and acknowledging them is how we grow. If you've had me in class, you know that we often learn a lot from mistakes. There's often more learning value in mistakes than doing something correctly, because the lesson sticks with you. As I thought about what to share today, I realized how many life lessons I've learned through my own mistakes. Laying one's mistakes out for others is obviously scary, but many of you have done just that as you've worked and grown alongside of each other. With that said, I'd be hypocritical if I didn't share some more of my mistakes, because let's be honest, some of you have heard or witnessed quite a few already. So let's get started. As a middle school student, I couldn't wait to get into high school. As a high school student, I was constantly looking forward to college and getting out of high school itself. As a college student, I was waiting for graduation and the opportunity to become a teacher. It wasn't until later on in life, when I no longer had some huge milestone which I was working toward, that I realized how much of my life had been focused on the next stage. It was an odd feeling that in the short term left me feeling kind of like a void inside. In reflection, I also started to realize how much I had enjoyed the previous stages of my life, stages that I'd been working to push through constantly. I know the song is old, but it reminds me of a line from Good Old Days by Macklemore. Been scared of the future, thinking about the past, while missing out on now. While I hadn't been scared of the future, the sentiment remains. Enjoy the now. Live in the present. It's good to have goals and work for them, but your life is more than just those goals. It's about the moments, the people, and the experiences. Not all moments and experiences are the most pleasant. If you've heard me talk about speech class, you're most likely surprised that I'm standing here on stage right now. You see, as a high school student, I struggled immensely with public speaking, and a little bit right now, which is why I'm about to go down. I struggled so much that while walking up to deliver a speech in class, my face would turn so red that my classmates would joke that it was turning purple. This was only made worse one day by my inability to use an apple peeler or corer, but that's a longer story and some of you have already heard that one. This type of horrific reaction was often localized to public speaking, but the root cause was and is often still present in my life. So what is the root cause? Worrying about what others think and fearing judgment. It's sad, really. If life is about the moments and experiences, I can't begin to count how many of these moments I've ruined with worry and fear. It's like Macklemore says, wish I wouldn't have worry about what other people thought. I'd love to say I fixed this, but I'm still growing. The more I learn to embrace who I am, awkwardness and all, the more enjoyable life is. We can work to grow throughout life with regard to who we want to be and what we want to accomplish, but we also need to embrace everything that makes us special and different. So the lesson I'm learning, and I hope you are too, is to be yourself. This isn't an excuse to ignore the feelings and needs of others. It's a dictate to enjoy yourself, to be comfortable with who you are, weirdness and all. Remember, life is about being the best version of you, not someone else. The last lesson is present throughout the entire song, Good Old Days. Find and acknowledge the positives in life. We can acknowledge and grow from the negatives, but we shouldn't needlessly focus on them. While reflection is positive and can help us learn, life is about balance. Give equal airtime, if not more, to the positives in life. This isn't always easy, especially for me. But I can say this: when I choose to focus on the positives, vocalize the positives, and counterbalance every negative with at least one positive, I'm far happier. Matter of fact, I'm holding one right now. So thank you to the person that left us today. You know who you are. Which brings up the point, share those positives with others. It makes a world of difference. Sometimes it's hard to see the positives of a situation. A breakup, for instance, which was one of the darkest moments in my past, and I've shared that with some of you. In that case, you really need to ask yourself, did you have some amazing experiences? Did you learn something about what you value in yourself or others? Did you realize how awesome your friends are when they helped you through a tough time? All of those are positives. At other times, we miss the positives. This is a lesson that COVID has taught more than any other. There are so many little things in life that are amazing. A smile from a classmate, the ability to get together with friends, going to school. The list is incredibly long. Interestingly, in conversation with students this year, the most mentioned positive that came from COVID was the time spent with family. Your family loves you and wants the best for you, just as everyone here does. Cherish that. As we part ways, at least for now, and as you move on to the next stages of your lives, please remember, be present, be yourself, and focus on the positives. Thank you.
Mr. Painter, there's no doubt why the class of 2021 chose you as their commencement speaker. We thank you, and it's a pleasure to have you on the faculty here. Let's give all of our speakers a one good round of applause. I now call upon the senior class leadership representatives for their farewell address to the class.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Mr. Barenwald, for the warm introduction. As the 2021, As the 2021 Senior Student Council, we are truly honored to be speaking tonight. As your student council, it has been a truly unique experience to learn alongside the class of 2021. In 4 years, we did so much together here in Cedar Springs. We secured the title of being the only class in known CSHS history to never win homecoming decorations. We also hold Cedar Springs' only rank for 3-time Powder Puff champions. We may not have been the most enthusiastic on Spirit Days, but we always cheered the loudest at that night's game. The class of 2021 even miraculously pulled together in creating the senior prank. As a council, we commend you for your unity and Red Hawk pride.
This year in Student Council, we chose the theme Resilience. We feel that this perfectly encompasses the class of 2021. We survived despite the challenges COVID presented. As a class, we demonstrate resilience through our adaptation to change and hardships in the face of COVID-19. Although we lost dances, shows, and assemblies, and not all of us were able to stay in person this year, we remained positive and made the best of what we had. Throughout our 4 years, we were hardworking, we persevered, and now we have finally made it.
This year and the last were unlike any others we have experienced, and this has made us truly strong individuals. As we transition into the next chapter of our lives, we will encounter many obstacles, and we won't always know what we are doing, but if COVID taught us one thing, is that we can push through whatever may come our way.
And lastly, we'd like to thank a few people who have made this class who we are. Thank you to the teachers who have been our guides, our mentors, some of them even our parents. You have been there to guide us and tell us what we need, to help us de-stress when we need it, and to just be teachers when we needed that as well. Thank you to the hidden staff of Cedar Springs, which would include the maintenance staff, the janitors, the people who provide us lunch. You nearly don't get enough thanks as you should. You are there to help us when we need our bathrooms cleaned because people like to dirty them too much. You are there to help us with the projectors when they break far too often. And you're even there to provide us lunch when we just need to relax and hang out with our friends. Thank you to the parents. You are there to watch us grow up for a lot of years, and some of you have been here one time, for the last time, too many times. You have been amazing. You've encouraged us to join clubs, join sports, do theatrical performances, anything. You were there, and that is an amazing thing, and I'm so thankful that the parents are just there. And lastly, thank you to the class of 2021. You are an amazing class, and I couldn't be more proud to say that I'm graduating with the class of 2021. Yeah, that's all. That's all I have.
It has been a pleasure to work with these student leaders over these years, and this is a very fine group that I know will do their very best to keep everyone in touch in the class of 2021. You did a job well done this year, and your hashtag is obviously most fitting given the year that we've had. As a reflective moment on the significance of commencement, and the many years of memories shared by the class of 2021, I have called upon our band directors, Mr. Fallis and Mrs. Roberts, to prepare the members of the Cedar Springs Band to perform a special musical selection. This year's performance from the musical score of Ride by Sam Hazo. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Cedar Springs High School Band under the direction of Mr. Fallis. Will you guys go ahead and join them? We'll give a moment for the seniors to come out of the stands that are going to join the band. Bravo. What a year this band has had this year, both the band and the choir students, but especially the band students. I can remember us last summer, the directors and I driving all across West Michigan, even into Lansing at the fabric stores, looking for the right material to be able to make bell covers and covers for the instruments so that we would be able to have marching band, and for all the band booster parents who took the time to sew those together so that they would be able to have band and learn this year and be able to perform. One thing for all of us to wear a face covering, another thing for them to have that and then have to play an instrument that also has a covering on it. So congratulations to the band and all the hard work that you've done this year. Board of Education President, Mrs. Heidi Reed, and the members of the Board of Education, it is with honor that the faculty and administration of Cedar Springs High School and New Beginnings High School present to you the class of 2021. Of the 252 seniors seated before you tonight, 177 of them have met all the graduation requirements or program goals as set forth by board policy for each of the high schools, and as principal of both, I recommend that each of them be presented with a Cedar Springs Public Schools diploma or certificate. We are excited to have 68 seniors who represent Cedar Springs' fifth and largest early middle college cohort, who, after the completion of the program this next year at GRCC, will not only receive their actual diploma from high school, but also an associate's degree from GRCC. And if you add that up, that's over $500,000 of tuition that has been saved by our parents and family members here in Cedar Springs, thanks to not only the efforts of the state program for early middle college and the tuition that is paid for that, but also the enhancement millage that we have for our district. Those 68 seniors are definitely pursuing their careers and moving forward with their plans, and we shouldn't forget what that means to our community. The Board of Education will also be presenting our 7 exchange students with their certificates of attendance. Mr. Verwise, the counselors, would you please begin to prepare the seniors for the presentation of diplomas? As the members of the Board of Education begin to take their places, I call on stage. I will call on row 1 to please rise and step forward. We will begin, please rise. And now you may step forward and form a line here on the turf. Just walk right straight forward. We will begin with the graduating seniors from New Beginnings High School. I've called upon this year Cedar Springs High School faculty member Edward Johns for the official presentation of the class. I ask the audience, please stay mindful that everyone here tonight wants to hear their senior's name be read throughout the conferring of the diplomas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to turn the microphone and podium over to Mr. Johns.
Serenity Brecken. Blake Gottschalk. Dominic Hardenberg. Summer Homrich. Landon Jennings. Lindsay Kernett. Caitlin Magoon. Austin Miller. Karis Pine. Gibson Reinhout. Alicia Sanders. Christian Van Wingen. And Trenton Walker. Our exchange students, Aina Catala, Alessandro Del Gaudio, Maho Awasa, Marta Biskert, Alejandro Molina, Ellen Nordland, and Clara Suarez. From Cedar Springs High School, Sarah Adkisson, Abigail Altman, Gloria Alvarez, Jasmine Ambrose, Grace Anderson, Alexander Andringa, Alexis Arizola, Olivia Austin, Nicole Baker, Olivia Baldwin, Demonte Barnett, Brian Barnett, Carissa Basso, Cyril Battenfield, Xander Bauer, Jadalyn Bazette, Ariana Beal Schlins, Paige Beatty, after they all get in line? Row 2, you can rise, stay in order, and come to the stage. No, stay in the order that we practiced. There we go. Row 1, you may be seated. Brooke Beck. Shelby Beeman. Haley Begeman. Seth Benson. Haley Barridge. Roman Blatt. Madeline Boomgard. Jordan Boss. Aiden Bowens. Corey Bowers. Spencer Bray. Noah Brinker. Keely Buckner. Abigail Buttermore. Shane Campione. Jeremy Campione. Joshua Canfield. Cassidy Canfield. Jonathan Comstock. Nicholas Carver. Kendall Serta. Sarah Chenoweth. Elizabeth Christensen. Jeffrey Clark. Kaylin Colclaser. Tucker Cook. Melody Cooper. Jace Cristobal. Ethan Darren. Sophia Dalt. Alana Dean. Cade Dingman. David D. Piazza. Logan Douglas. Bailey Drake. Caitlin Draper. Delaney Drum. Noah Duran. Olivia Durkee. Kelsey Dykstra. Emma Ernest. Row 3, you may come down to the stage. Addison Eckelbarger. Nathan Elliston. Elizabeth Fettig. Soraya Feigard. Melody Fisk. Casey Fisk. Emma Forsyth. Braxton Fry. Jocelyn Gage. Dominic Gully. Rachel Gallup. Claire Gam. Giovanni Gonzalez. Lexi Green. Lindsay Green. Dylan Greenland. Benjamin Hackbart. Gage Haywood. Dylan Heiss. Hannah Helton. Nicholas Hernandez. Jaden Haroon. Gavin Hugel. Aaron Higgins. Michael Hole. Madison Hooker. Aiden Hovanek. Michael Hughes. Ashley Hughes. Kaylee Hall. Cade Imbalt. Cassidy Johnson. Alana Johnston. Jesse Kaiserlane. Melena Kettler. Caius Kinsley. Camden Clausen. Paige Claver. Samuel Kleinenberg. Dylan Knopf. Row 4, you may come to the stage.
Actually, she'll be in the one after that. She's in the last. Good. You'll be up here for the last one anyway.
They're gonna go around. Should have had some jokes ready to go. Should have had some jokes ready to go. Elise Kobayashi. Caitlin Kuiman. Elissa Kraus. Naden Krupp. Kendra Landbeck. Christian Leggett. Brandon Leiter. Lauren Lett. Ian Little. Anthony Lizardo. Andrew Luke. Mara Lutz. Olivia Mail. Shannon Maley. Austin Mann. Trevor Marshall. Trevor Marsman. Paige Marsman. Amanda Martinez Gomez. Bryce Marvel. Alec McDonald. Caleb Menifee. Lindsay Meredith. Wyatt Messler. Ariana Myers. Isabel Miller. Olivia Miller. Emily Misevich. Brooklyn Mitchell. Christian Molesky. Cody Monger. Ella Moore. Bailey Mosier. Isabella Mosqueda. Chloe Myers. Jesse Nagel. Sydney Nauta. Jedica Nazario. Alicia Nelson. Drake Neve. Bailey Newberg. Sakira Nichols. Row 5, you may come to the stage. Temple fine? Alexander Nyland. Ryan Ullman. Giovanni Ortiz. Brandon Polasic. Caleb Palmer. Hannah Parmeter. Olivia Pate. Caleb Peacock. Logan Perkin. Avery Peterson. Logan Petty. Shannon Phipps. Hannah Pienton. Michaela Pierce. Rosemary Pagorsh. Ethan Plummer. Nevaeh Pomeroy. Alexis Pope. Jenna Powell. Matthew Price. Margaret Prinz. Joseph Priolo. Ariana Rao. Catherine Reed. Morgan Ryers. Preston Ricker. Ashlyn Roberts. Trenton Rolofs. Catherine Roth. Madison Ruth. Isaac Ripma. Nicholas Sanders. Sydney Schaefer. Ethan Shaft. Carly Shears. Olivia Sherman. Gavin Shields. Abby Shotko. Trevor Simon. Row 6, you may head to the stage. Morgan Simon. Paige Simon. Serena Simons. Hannah Slagle. Pierce Smith. Brylan Smith. Lillian Smith. Trenton Snoink. Nathan Snyder. Grace Sova. Avery Sparling. Gordon Spalding. Kenzie Tanis. Evan Thorne. Christopher Torrey. Landon Totten. Taryn Troop. Nathan Van Kampen. Emily Vandebunty. Max Vandermeulen. Parker Van Dyke. Andrew Van Gessel. Robert Van Malsen. Alexander Van Oss. Perla Villarreal. Audrey Visser. Justin Voskel. Olivia Waller. Brianna Weber. Alexis Weber. Jade White. Christina Wilhelm. Kaylin Wilson. Alexis Wood. Connor Weimer. Martine Yakes. William Zane. Eileen Zavala. Alicia Zimpfer. Cecilia Smith. And Madison Skellens.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the end of tonight's commencement ceremony. And the way the skies look, that's probably a great thing. We don't have to break out the ponchos that we purchased. Always got to be prepared when you got to be outside. I ask that you remain seated and allow the graduates to exit the track first. The recessional will follow the moving of the tassel and the proclamation. So at this point, will Madison Hooker please come to the center along with the Valedictorian and Salutatorian? While we're waiting for the last row to get in place, let's give a shout out to the girls varsity soccer team that competes tomorrow night for district championship. 2009, last time. Well, hallelujah, we've made it. Madison, would you please commence with the raising and moving of the tassel? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct privilege to present to you the newest graduates of New Beginnings and Cedar Springs High School, the class of 2021.